Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the National Timely Action Hour. This is the show where we talk about everything from comic books to movies and everything in between. My name is Aidan, and I hope that you're doing well today. So, as I record this, it is the 23rd of June, 2026. We are just 3 days away from the release of the new Supergirl movie, directed by Craig Gillespie, and starring Millie Alcock as the titular character. Now, I had set up my schedule for 2026, but I knew that the Supergirl movie would be releasing, so I didn't schedule any Supergirl related reviews because I didn't know what the date of release would be. But, you know, since it's 3 days away, I had done a review a couple of months ago of a Supergirl action figure, so I'll leave that linked if you want to watch that. And I will watch. I already pre-ordered my ticket to see the movie, so I'm gonna see it, and then I'm gonna review it a couple of days later after it gestates in my mind. And in the meantime, I just wanted to do a review of Supergirl Volume 5, Issue Number 5. This was published in March 2006, written by Jeff Loeb and illustrated by Ian Churchill, with the cover art by the late great Michael Turner. But I wanted to do this ahead of the film's release because A, I love Supergirl, B, I haven't done a lot of Supergirl related videos on my channel, which I would like to remedy, and C, I just think that this is a very good comic that I would definitely recommend. So, cutting to the chase, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being horrible, 10 being fantastic, I gotta give this an 8 out of 10 because it's not perfect, but it is very good in my opinion. And this is, as I said, volume 5 of Supergirl, so it had been, you know, this is shortly after she was resurrected post-crisis on Infinite Earths. Check out my review of that if you want to get some more context. But this version of Supergirl is actually older than Superman, because pre-crisis Supergirl was born on the asteroid that held Argo City after the destruction of Krypton, and then she was sent to Earth because the city was dying of Kryptonite poisoning. And post-crisis, her origin is she was sent to Krypton, sent from Krypton to Earth around the same time as her cousin Superman, because her father, Zor-El, Superman's uncle, Jor-El's older brother, also was the only one who heeded his brother's advice that the planet was dying. So he was like, oh shit, I gotta get my daughter off this rock, and I hate my younger brother, and I don't want his son to be the only remnant of Krypton, so I'm gonna shoot her into space and send her to Earth because I know that she's gonna be invincible when she gets there. And throughout the series, throughout the first 4 issues of this series and the story in Superman/Batman where she arrives on Earth, they had set up this mystery of how is she only arriving to Earth now? How is she only 16 years old? If she's older, yada yada yada. Well, that's the mystery throughout that story and the first 4 issues. This issue wraps it up because Jeff Loeb, who wrote all of those stories, is leaving the book, and he wants to wrap it up in a neat little bow so that the next writer can just go forth and have regularly scheduled Supergirl adventures. But I really like how the story comes together here, because we learn that Zor-El hated his brother, and we learn that he had wiped her memory because Kara Zor-El, you know, was going to be rocketed away, or spirited away, however you want to phrase it, but Zor-El wanted her to kill Kal-El when she got to Earth because of his jealousy. Supergirl actually refers to her brother, to her father and his brother's rivalry as a Cain and Abel sort of story here. And you know, as a Christian myself, I was like, oh yeah, nice, I see the parallels. But anyway, so he wipes her memory of his plan and places her in the rocket naked, as you do, because Ian Churchill and Michael Turner wanted to draw hot chicks, even though, you know, she's 16, so it's very uncomfortable for me as a 27-year-old man reading this. But you know, I read this story years ago, but I reread it for the review. But yeah, so it's just uncomfortable for me seeing this naked 16-year-old girl, even though, you know, you can't see her genitalia, but it's still provocative. So on that note, I'm not going to show you that, but I'm going to show you some of the other pages in here, because I think that the art is very good, in my opinion. I know that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so you know, choose what you will. And obviously, so here we have Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman with Supergirl. And who's this? Well, this is Supergirl's, the physical manifestation of Supergirl's darker half, because in the previous issue, Lex Luthor exposed her to black kryptonite, which splits her into, you know, her good self and her bad self. And so the black-clad Supergirl wants to fulfill her father's mission of killing Superman, whereas the regularly dressed Supergirl wants to protect her cousin because she's a good person and she loves her family. But, you know, disobeys her father because her father is an evil prick. But yeah, it's just, so it's essentially the gist of the story is Supergirl unlocks her memories, fights her darker half, and she comes to terms with who she is as a person and who she wants to be on Earth, a hero. And she professes her love for humanity and for Earth and for her cousin and his friends, and how she wants to do better than her father had intended for her, which is a very nice message, because like the 2025 Superman movie, it has a similar message of how, you know, Jor-El wanted Superman to be a conqueror, but Superman chooses to be a good person. And similar story, but, you know, 20 years, or at that time 19 years earlier, in a Supergirl book. But yeah, I really enjoy it, definitely recommend it. And like I said, I pre-ordered my ticket to see Supergirl in a few days as I record this, so I'll let you guys know what I think about that in a separate video once the movie actually releases and I watch it. But thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Please leave a like, and if you're new, please subscribe and leave a comment telling me your thoughts on this story or just Supergirl in general. And if you're on your mobile device, click the hype button. Share this with your friends if they're interested in this sort of content. In the description, you'll find links to my podcast, so please share that and subscribe. And you'll also find links to my social media profiles, so follow me and send me a message there, as well as my Patreon page and merch store. So if you'd like to support this show financially, I would greatly appreciate you for doing that. But thank you so much once again, and I sincerely hope that you all have a wonderful day. God bless you. Goodbye.